Hey guys, Jay from Cold Nights here, and today we are going over my extra special Vita collection. And I say extra special because this system meant the world to me. A little story about how I got into it. So, I saw everyone having so much fun with it, and I'm seeing all these incredible games for it, and it was at the end of the system's life cycle. So it was very unlikely that I was going to be able to find the system anywhere in the wild. So, not wanting to pay ridiculous eBay prices, I actually went on the Walmart app and searched all of the Walmarts in southern New Hampshire and northern Massachusetts. And I had found one that still had it at that time. And I quickly flew over there and I was able to get it. And boy was I happy, and I immediately started my collection. So, real quick, we're going to go over the basics of the PS Vita. So, this is my Vita, all right? As you can see, it is a beautiful fit for your hands. That's one of the main things about it. You don't need to get any custom grips. You don't need any kind of additions to it. The thing is perfect the way it is. It always feels good in my hands. Now, that may not be the case for everybody, but I am a giant. I've got these giant mitts, and it always feels great in my hands. So, another great PS Vita, I won't say accessory because it's basically a PS Vita itself, is the PlayStation TV. Oh, we're holding it up the wrong way. There we go. So, PlayStation TV was another one that I picked up at Walmart in the brief time that they carried it. And this lets you play 90% of your PS Vita games on the TV without needing the touchscreen. And a few of them utilize the touchscreen on the PS4 controller, the little like touchpad in the middle, to a minimal effect to try to make up for that. But 90% of those games are playable on your TV, meaning you can stream it, you can record it, and you can play it on that big, beautiful TV that we all know we have in our living rooms. So this was a huge find, and I definitely suggest everyone go pick one of these up if you're a big Vita gamer, because you can get them for about $125 to $150 if you're really looking for deals on eBay or Amazon. And there's even a white variation that was released in Japan that goes for a little bit more, which I would like to get my hands on, but I was looking today and they were running around $300. I'm not sure that I'm willing to pay that when I already have this. But it is great to play them on your TV. And as someone who's really got into streaming and recording video of my gameplay, I definitely appreciate it. I actually have to find this currently in the collection. Last time we rearranged the living room, it was misplaced. I don't think it's lost forever, but I do need to find where it is. So we got the box, we got all the documentation, but we don't have this. I would love to stream Vita games for you guys, and maybe I will as soon as I can find the damn thing. But without further ado, let's watch a little vignette I put together on the Vita and the PlayStation TV's incredible history. The PlayStation Vita was released in Japan on December 17th, 2011, and in North America and Europe on February 22nd, 2012. Its introductory price was $249.99. The system was a successor to the PlayStation Portable and was designed to offer the graphics and titles of home consoles with the portability and functionality of smartphones and tablets of the time. Though it did well at first, within a year of release, sales figures began to dwindle. A push was made to attract smaller developers to the platform, resulting in the system becoming known in later years as a place for obscure and hidden gems, especially in the genres of JRPGs, visual novels, and indie games. The system survived until the release of the Switch and was discontinued shortly after. The system is heavily collected for and was well known at the time for its backwards compatibility with digital PSP and PS1 classics available on the PlayStation Store. Sadly, due to poor marketing and the system not releasing earlier in the PS3's life cycle, it was ultimately a commercial failure. Thankfully, the system retains a large fan base online and has many dedicated collectors that keep its memory alive. The PS TV was released in late 2013 in Japan and in 2014 internationally at an introductory price of $99. It allowed for the play of Vita games and digital PSP games for the first time on a television. In interviews, Sony execs have said it was originally intended to be an entry point into the Chinese gaming market that had unusual restrictions on video game consoles at the time. It was universally praised for its OS,
bringing the portable gaming world into the home and as a streaming device. It was also praised for the product design and diminutive size, allowing for it to easily be included in anyone's home media setup. It has become increasingly hard to find on the aftermarket and still remains relatively unknown to many gamers today.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about the Vita and its history. Before I get into the meat of the collection, I do want to go over a little tip that I have for any game collector for handheld games. Go to your local Walmart or Target and go to the craft section and look for a crafting or bead case. So I'm going to show you right here. This is mine, all right? And as you can see, it's sectioned off to separate your thread or beads or whatever you use for crafting. But it also doubles as a great way to hold your loose DS, 3DS, Switch, and Vita games. You certainly cannot beat this for the protection it gives them and the organization it can give them. So if you want to keep your games all in one place and sorted and safe from the elements and dust in your home, bead cases are the way to go. Later on in the video, I'm going to go over the loose games I have. We'll probably just run down a quick list because I'm not going to go through and try to hold them all up in front of the camera. I probably have about 20 loose Vita games. I don't know if any of you remember, GameStop at the end of the Vita's life mainly had them loose. There was definitely some pretty rare ones and great deals that I could not pass up. So, though I definitely like to have my games complete in box, sometimes you just have to grab these loose games because it's too good of a deal. So definitely bead cases. All right, so let's get to a couple little collector's editions I have. So the first one we have here is one of my all-time favorite games from one of my all-time favorite series, and that is Persona 4 Dancing All Night. So this one included a PS Vita skin, which did look pretty cool. I don't think I ever used it. I definitely hear it around in there. And here's the game. And let me tell you, I suggest this to anyone that likes Persona or rhythm games. It is literally a perfect combination. I am a rhythm game fanatic and a Persona fanatic, but I love Hatsune Miku. I love the Theater Rhythm series. You name the rhythm game, I've played it. Super excited for Samba de Amigo coming out. But this really perfected it. Such a great system, and it has a pretty good difficulty curve where it's pretty easy for beginners, but on the harder levels, getting 100% and doing all the scratches and stuff is damn near impossible. So I challenge anyone to try to 100%. I want to say that the ultimate difficulty was called like Dance Fever or something like that. So I challenge anyone to perfect these tracks on the Fever difficulty. It's pretty damn hard. The next one I have here is Conception 2. Now this one came with a soundtrack, all right, which is always a nice plus. And here's the game, still sealed. And of course I had to open it to get the soundtrack out because, you know, I love those. Now this game, maybe not for everybody. It does revolve around breeding your next generation of hero. That may not be for everyone. Definitely a little pervy, a little like waifu type of stuff. But as you can see, the art is very nice. That traditional cute anime style. So it might be a game you want to check out for sure. All right, so let's get to some of the basic Vita games I have. Game I believe, in total, said that I have 82. And like I said, some of those are loose, but we are going to go through the ones that I have the cases for. First one we're going to go through is Dead or Alive 5+. Great series. If you like fighting games, you know how incredible Dead or Alive is. Everyone knows they have that special physics in it. That may not be for everyone either, but certain people definitely enjoy that. But always a fun series to play, so worth checking out. Next up, we have one of my all-time favorites. We were just talking about it, Persona 4 Golden. It's great to have the physical. I loved Persona 4 on the PS2. When Golden came to the Vita, I was super excited for the new characters and to be able to play it on the actual handheld. And now that it's on the Switch eShop, even better. More people can experience but having that physical really feels good. All right, up next, we got some more fighting. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. These games are a damn blast. If you ever wanted to know what it's like to fight as Phoenix Wright against Dante and Ryu in like a three-way match, this is your chance. Fun stuff, even if you don't like fighting games. You know, getting to check out, like the Hulk versus Chris from Resident Evil. You really can't beat it. So even if it's just to try out and see how the characters interact, or if you like the challenge of a pretty tough fighting game, definitely worth checking out. Y'all know me, Dynasty Warriors fanboy until the end. And I had to have Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Complete Edition. So this has all of the content from the original release and the Extreme Legends Edition. Gotta love it. Dynasty Warriors, always a fun hack and slash journey. I platinumed this, I believe, on the PS4 and the Vita. Went crazy on it, loved it to death. Definitely check it out if you like hack and slash games. All right, Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. If you've ever played these games, you know they got that quality from Sega, and they are just fun. The basic just rolling around and doing the courses is fun. All the little party games are fun. All the little challenges are fun. If you haven't played a Monkey Ball game, I definitely say check it out. If you like Monkey Ball but haven't got it on the Vita, it's pretty cool to have it on the Vita and ready to be on the go. So definitely pick that one up. All right, this one, I want to say I picked it up sealed on clearance for like $1 or $2. FIFA Soccer. I'm not a big soccer guy, but it is a sealed game. Yeah, it's a sports game, but it's here. All right, we're continuing down the fighter path. We have Street Fighter X Tekken. Again, these games are fun just for being able to cross the paths of these different universes of characters. This one was a really fun one. Definitely worth checking out. If you want to see Dudley fight Hihachi, definitely worth enjoying this one. So pick that one up. All right, next up we have Wolf Among Us from Telltale Games. This one was really popular back in the day. Telltale makes great story-driven kind of visual novels. Definitely probably worth a playthrough. I never played it, but at some point I'd like to visit it because a lot of people did say that this series is really good. All right, one of the most unique games specifically released for the Vita is Gravity Rush. So if you have not played this, I definitely suggest you check it out. The gravity altering mechanics in this were so damn fun to play, I can't even begin to describe it for you. Definitely go check out some gameplay of this. If you have a Vita, this is definitely a game I would suggest picking up. Gravity Rush 2 was also really fun. I do believe it's a little more expensive and harder to find, but probably also worth checking out. All right, this one has still got a GameStop sticker on it. Sometimes I leave them on to remember what I paid for it and kind of for the nostalgia, and sometimes I just forget. But this is Dragon's Crown. All right, this was super fun to play when it came out on the PS3 and the Vita. It's kind of been replaced by Dragon's Crown Pro, the like enhanced edition that had like a beautiful like embossed cover that came out on the PS4. But still pretty cool to have this. The art style was crazy. It always is with anything that Atlas works on. And I want to say, was it Vanillaware that did this? Maybe. But yeah, good stuff. So definitely check it out. Next up, we have Jak and Daxter. 3 fully remastered games on here. Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, Jak 2, and Jak 3. So if you're a huge fan of the series, definitely check this one out. It's great to be able to have it on the go. I never got crazy into the series. One of these days, I'm going to listen to a couple of my great friends and check it out, because I know a lot of the people that I kind of associate with online that have become good friends of mine really like this and suggest it. So, all right. Next up, we have Freedom Wars. this was another one I was pretty excited to get because the reviews on it were pretty good, and they said it had a really good story and unique gameplay. I never got around to playing it. It does look like it has a pretty unique cast of characters there. So it is something I'm going to want to check out at some point, and you may want to too. All right, so we got a couple visual novels here. So we have Code Realize, Wintertide Miracles. This one is your classic Otome. You know, you have some gorgeous bachelors there that you can try to woo. These ones, they're a little more tame, and they usually don't have like real dark story elements to them. So it's a great entry point, I would say, especially because the cost isn't prohibitive. Most of these games can be found fairly cheap, either on the PS3, the PS4, or the Vita. So it's definitely something you can pick up and kind of see if you enjoy the Otome genre and see if you like it. All right, so this one is a classic Corpse Party Blood Drive. You know, anything Corpse Party is going to be shocking and going to be incredible. I want to say this is a reversible cover. It is, and we do have an alternate art there. So that's pretty neat. I want to make sure I don't destroy that putting it back. But yeah, this one, definitely a little tougher to find, but definitely worth it, just like all the other ones are. If you want a game that will entertain you, but also shock you with the things that you will see and experience in it, definitely check out any of the Corpse Party games. All right, next we have Caller X Malice. And this is another one with absolutely stunning bachelors. Let's make sure we can get a good focus there. Those guys look lovely. All right, so if you like Otome games, this is definitely something to get into. If I remember correctly, these ones were about... This girl had a collar put on her after being attacked, and she's trying to figure out the mystery of it, and then she meets all these great guys during that. Good stuff. Definitely check it out. So these next ones here, I believe they were released around the same time. So we have, and I didn't play any of them. They're definitely on my backlog of visual novels to check out. We have Seven's Garlet. Okay. And what I loved about all these is they all came, with, like many of them do, with these beautiful card sets, which I'm always too paranoid to open. So usually you only get to see the heroine on it. Usually the bachelors are on the cards underneath. But they're really cute. And most of the games from Axis will usually have those. So when you're out there looking for them, it's definitely a bonus if you can find it with those cards. The next games, we have Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly, and we can see here we get those beautiful cards inside, and there is our cover art. Another one that I definitely got to get through. I know that my pal Emily said that they were kind of darker, so that definitely kind of interested me, because, you know, we like to stay creepy and be on the dark side here. And this one is Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk, the third one that was released around that time. And this card looks awesome. She looks incredible. That is pretty cool. So definitely something you may want to check out. And now we have the third volume in the Zero Escape series, Zero Time Dilemma. Now this is a favorite series of my good friends Miss Mandia and Tony. So they definitely will appreciate this. I have not played these. I do have them all. And I got to play them on stream sometime because they're great supporters of mine. And I would love to experience this with them because I know that they adore it. So definitely going to experience this soon. But yeah, having it on the go is the way to go. All right. Up next, we have Dengeki Bunko Fighters Climax. So this is another one that mixed multiple series together. And this one has Asuna and Kirito, which is always nice. It's pretty cool to be able to fight as these characters. So definitely want to check this one out. I remember literally the time that I spent with this was mainly focusing on using Asuna because I thought that was like the coolest thing. So definitely worth checking out. Still on the fighting games. I definitely had gone through a patch years ago where that was like one of the main types of games I played. So this one is Blaze Blue, Chrono Phantasma, Extend. All of these games from Arc System Works are incredibly, I don't want to say tough, but they have complicated combat systems and combo systems that you can put a lot of time and effort into learning. And it's definitely rewarding. I definitely would suggest that if you have the wherewithal to do it, if you have the skill with fighting games and you have not tried an Arc System Works game, you definitely need to get into these. They're so good. They also made Guilty Gear, which is another incredible yet somewhat complicated fighting game. All right, so we have Batman Arkham Origins Black Gates. I have not played this. I'm not the hugest fan of comics or Batman, but I do have it, and people said this one was pretty good, so it might be worth checking out, especially if you like those things. All right, so this one I have twice. I have an open copy, and then I have this sealed copy, and this is a Hyperdimensional Neptunia Producing Perfection. So this one is an idol simulator using the girls from Hyperdimensional Neptunia. I never played it because I picked one up loose, like super cheap, and then I had the sealed one. I like this series, the couple of games that I've played in it, and I do like simulation games, but I just never really got into this one. But apparently you can produce music videos and songs with them, and of course dress them up. So it seems pretty fun, and maybe someday I'll check it out, and maybe you should too. All right, so this one is an absolute classic, absolute banger. We all know it. Muramasa Rebirth. You cannot beat this game. If you have not experienced this yet, I definitely suggest you check it out. Beautiful art, wonderful gameplay. The sword mechanics in it are incredible. You cannot do better than this. So it's available on the Wii, on here, maybe a couple other places I can't think off the top of my head. But no matter how you experience it, I definitely suggest you do. All right, these games are not for everyone, all right, because they're definitely pervy. They are definitely kind of like a waifu thing. But the Senran Kagura games do have a very fun gameplay loop and can be pretty challenging. So this one, Shinobi Versus, I played this all the way through. I'm pretty sure I got the platinum on it. What I love is games that have ensemble casts. And this one has an incredible ensemble cast of ninjas. And it's hilarious. And like I said, definitely a little perverted. But if you appreciate that kind of humor, you will definitely enjoy this. All right, so this one is probably the most valuable one that I have here. We have Merry Skelter Nightmares. Now, this one came out, I picked it up when it first came out. I want to say it was retailing for maybe like $39.99. I knew when I saw that it was going to be a special game and that it was going to be one of those games that probably became pretty rare and appreciated in value. And this one is incredible. The little bit that I've played, the monster designs are incredible. The art is incredible. I didn't get too deep into it, but I definitely would suggest you pick this up, especially if you can get it on a good deal. All right, so this one really disappointed me because the premise sounded pretty unique. Maybe a little silly, but unique. So Drive Girls was about girls that can turn into cars. And that's got to be good, right? It's from Axis. It's got cool anime art. They look cute. But unfortunately, it's an extremely repetitive gameplay loop. And after about 10 hours, I was no longer interested in it. I did not complete the platinum. And I probably would not recommend this to people. If you're a die-hard anime fan or a fan of kind of low quality like anime games, you may enjoy it. But my enjoyment from it was brief and in the beginning of the game. All right, so up next, we have Sorcery Saga, Curse of the Great Curry God. This is another one that was supposed to be really good. I have not played it. I believe it is kind of like an RPG with elements where you cook special meals. I could be wrong, but if I remember what I've read up on it, that is the premise here. It's pretty popular. So it may be worth checking out. All right, here's another one that I loved. Hyperdimensional Neptunia U Action Unleashed. So this one, again, kind of pervy humor, right? But cute anime girls, great, gameplay. I really enjoyed this one. Great action, like hack and slash gameplay. Definitely worth checking out. I may not have completed the platinum on this one, but I know I got pretty damn close, and I did have a good time doing this. And this is the kind of game I kind of expected when I bought Drive Girls. Unfortunately, that did not pan out. All right, so next up we have Silent Hill Book of Memories. This one I cannot recommend. I am one of the hugest Silent Hill fans, and I did not gain any enjoyment from this. It is nothing like the other Silent Hill games. It's kind of like an isometric, I don't even know what you would call it. I would say if you're really interested in the lore and the story that it tells, maybe watch someone play through it, maybe watch someone's like plot synopsis. I don't even know that it's specifically super rare, but if you love Silent Hill and you want to complete your collection, you got to get it. But I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan. All right, so these games are ultra fun, and I love them. The Dank and Rapper games are always huge. This one is Ultra Despair Girls. Incredible stuff, especially with some incredible characters that were beloved from the first game. But this is good stuff. All the Dank and Rapper games have unique mechanics, and they are just great visual novel type games to enjoy. All right, so if you're a PlayStation person, you definitely have spent some time with Little Big Planet. So all of the iterations of Little Big Planet, whether they're on the the PS3, whether you're playing the Vita one, they're fun, they're enjoyable. I really challenge anyone to pick it up and not enjoy it. They're very just fun to play through and collect the different stickers and do all the different activities. So definitely want to check this one out. All right, up next we have Sword Art Online Lost Song. So this one is pretty unique. I believe this is the one where you can fly around with like fairy wings, which makes it pretty interesting. I did play through this maybe a little bit, a couple hours. I did enjoy it. Definitely unique mechanics in it. But Sword Art Online, great story. I loved the anime. So any of the games, whether you're talking about this, I think there was one called Fatal Bullet. The Alicization game was really good. They don't really make bad Sword Art Online games, so definitely check them out. All right, another series of games that they don't really make bad ones in, but they do make a lot of them. So we have Disgaea 4, A Promise Revisited. And if you've played these games, you know what they're famous for. They are famous for that wonderful tactical style and humongous damage numbers. If you want to do 10 million damage, this is the game to do it in. So definitely check them out. They're hilarious, they're cute, and they can be pretty challenging. Up next, we have something I absolutely adore, and this is Hatsune Miku Project Diva X. This one I had got as a special edition. I want to say it came with a little cloth bag that had Hatsune Miku on it. I know that that's on one of the bookcases behind me, but I don't have I want to say it was just like wrapped around it maybe. But it is a wonderful game. These games are so enjoyable. And the great thing is, it's not just an awesome rhythm game. Some, not all, but some of the musical tracks are literally so good that you're going to want to download them and put them on your, YouTube music. I adore it. There's so many of these songs that are so memorable. You're definitely going to want to check out any Hatsune Miku game. Up next, we have Summon Night 6 Lost Borders. So this one, I had picked it up. I remember it came out on the Vita and the PS4 at the same time. And one of the big sticking points was this big, beautiful book that it came with. And that is such a rare thing in games that a lot of people were just picking it up for that. It was such a special thing to have it. I never really got into it. I'm not even sure that I ever played it. I know that it's a series that was fairly popular in Japan. Maybe someday I'll be able to take a look at this, but it has a cool instruction booklet. All right. Mine Zero. So this one I do remember. Pretty interesting dungeon crawling RPG. Definitely complete with like all the mapping and stuff, like you would find in like Etrian Odyssey. Cool character designs, lovely anime art style. It may be something you'd like to check out. I remember it was pretty dark, and it's always fun to like map those dungeons. So you may want to look at that. All right, so this one was always a joy, no matter what system it was on. Child of Light. Can't recommend this one enough. It's a nice, short experience that does feel complete and rewarding when you experience it. So you're definitely going to want to check this one out. It's great to have it on the go. All right, so this one here I definitely enjoyed with my son, and I will admit that some of the Lego games are guilty pleasures. I'm a huge completionist and grinder in games, so the Lego games have huge completion criteria. Not necessarily difficult, but there is plenty to collect. Lots of different, Lego guys to get with different styles and different pieces. Just a ton of stuff to do. And the Lego Movie was something that I enjoyed with my son when he was smaller. And we played this game on all the different systems so much and had a great time doing it. If you got little ones or you just want some lighthearted fun, any of the Lego games can really achieve that for you. All right, so this one I did not play. It's actually still sealed. I did love the original Akibas Strip, but this one is Akibas Beat. I did hear it was a pretty good game. I remember some people complained about maybe the voice acting in it. I know that they said that a couple of the voice actors were kind of like annoying, but not 100% sure on that. But I'd never played this one. The premise in Akibas Strip was very unique. Definitely pervy, beating the clothes off like people as you walk around the city. But it was very fun. Like the game was pretty enveloping. Like you really got into it. So you may want to check this one out. All right, so these games are always fun if you've ever played them. This one is Hot Shots Golf. These are fun to just take maybe an hour or two and just have a great time just smashing golf balls with these cute anime characters and silly characters. If you like golf, you'll love it. So definitely check it out. All right, Yomawari, Midnight Shadows. This is a game, when it first came out, I didn't hear much about it. And then later on, and then when the sequel came out, everyone wanted it. So suddenly it became like kind of like a rarer game for most of the systems that it was on. I enjoyed it. I played it for a couple hours, I believe. It's not a super long game. I didn't complete it. But it's pretty creepy. So definitely something you may want to check out. All right, so I adored this game. I played it on multiple systems, but Terraria is one of the games that is so... You can put so many hours into this. There's so much to do, and even just like the vanilla console version of it. But if you play it on PC with mods, it is basically infinitely replayable. It's basically like a side-scrolling Minecraft. One of the most enjoyable games. Some awesome, challenging boss fights. And the platinum was super, super difficult to get, if I remember correctly. Like, there was a pretty, high amount of, like, collectibles and stuff you had to do. So, but good stuff. Definitely suggest that to anybody on any system. The pile over here will eventually be on camera, because it's getting so big as I go through the games. This one I got, like, a jacked up, like, printed out case. I don't know what's going on with that. But Ninja Gaiden Sigma... yeah, I don't know what's going on there. The back of it looks a little better. It looked water damage. I'm pretty sure I probably got a pretty good deal on it. But the card itself is okay. The Ninja Gaiden games are super fun. It's Tecmo. They make wonderful games. Those games are challenging, though. Like, if you want something that's really tough, the stealth sequences in it, the combat sequences in it, definitely a challenge. All right, so the next couple, I'm going to kind of set these to a side. So we have Chima, Laval's Journey, and Lego Ninjago Shadows of Ronin. I played both of these with my son. I think I ordered a second copy of this one because this one's still sealed. But we had a great time with them. They're pretty, they're not as open as, say, like the Lego like movie games, but so they're kind of linear, but same idea. Fun combat, lots of stuff to collect. Definitely worth checking out if you want like a lighthearted time, or if when you were a kid you were really into the Chima or Ninjago sets. So this was one that I enjoyed, but not to the level of like Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus or Neptunia U Action Unleashed. But it was fun. Mega Tag Mention, Blank versus Zombies plus Neptune. Again, set in that same universe with those adorable characters. Definitely weird and pervy, but super fun. Basic gameplay. I'm pretty sure you're fighting like slimes and like weird little zombies over and over again. But the gameplay loop was much more enjoyable than something like Drive Girls, and you're familiar with the characters. So if you've played the Neptunia games, definitely something I would suggest checking out. And of course, we covered Ultra Despair Girls. We have Dank and Rapper, Trigger Happy, Havoc, where it all started. One of the most unique experiences I ever had playing games at the time that it came out. I was completely immersed in it. It was very much like the Ace Attorney games. Like when you really get into them, it's hard to put it down. Like I would put it down, go do something, and then be like, no, I want to play the game again, and go right back to it. So definitely worth checking out. All right, so this one's a classic, and it's awesome to have it on the go, and you can't beat it. And it is X and X2. These games don't have a ton of value. They probably printed like a billion of them, but I definitely suggest everyone pick this up, especially on the Vita to have it portable. It's so great to relive these games. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of hate out there for X2. I adore that damn game. I adore it. Any game that is based around like fashion and the outfits, like changing your stats and attack power and stuff, I'm all about it. So I adore it. I adore both these games. Definitely get it portable. All right, so Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters. Pretty interesting little game. I played a couple hours into it. This is one of those ones where probably a year after they released this, they released a larger version of it on the actual like home consoles. There was like a more deluxe version of this game with a lot of content added. So this one's a little redundant if you have the other one, which of course I do. But definitely something that's fun to check out. I remember that the battle system was kind of strange. It's really all I remember it though. But good stuff, definitely kind of creepy and entertaining. All right, only a couple left here. This one right here was one of the originals and has one of the coolest characters I've ever seen and one of the coolest mechanics I've ever seen in a game. I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed person at all, but Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, it was literally such an incredible game because the main character, she could switch between like her assassin and like a regular person and then like a slave person, and she had different abilities depending on which mode you had her in. And it was really incredible. She was such a good hero, and I actually liked this better than Connor in Assassin's Creed 3. So like to me, this really should be the game that you play if you want to experience Assassin's Creed and you want to experience some unique gameplay. All right. This one here, Trails of Cold Steel. So this is one, I probably have it on every system that it was released for. I was just talking to on Twitter to some of my pals that I'm trying to collect all the Trails and Legend of Hero games before I really give like a good, deep, proper playthrough. Because anytime you mention it, everyone's like, you got to play them in order. So yes, I understand, and I'm trying to collect them all so I can give that a try. But this is one you're definitely going to want to pick up if you love that series. All right, more Telltale. So Walking Dead, complete first season. I was a huge Deadhead up until, they killed off Glenn and Abraham, and then I kind of stopped. But this was fun as hell. Great story. Definitely worth checking out. It's just something that's kind of nice to play through. Definitely want to check it out, especially if you love that series. They're doing like a whole new series. I think they're on like season 2 of it. I don't think it will ever go away. So these games are always going to be cool to go back and revisit. All right, and the last one we have physical Soul Sacrifice. I know nothing about this. I know that it's got to be reversible. There's got to be some information on this. Yeah, that's reversible. Okay. So there is the reversed cover. So, looks pretty neat. The character designs look pretty cool. Prepare for brutal combat experience where every decision made has consequential results. So, yeah, a lot of different games on the Vita that are totally worth checking out. All right, so that is my collection. I am going to, next, bring up a list on screen of all my loose games, because some of those are really good, and I want to share those with you. Hey guys, I just wanted to show you some of my setup here. I really love my Final Fantasy VII play arts, some of my favorite figures that I've ever had. I completely adore them. And I adore the first Horizon game. I have not played the second one. I've heard mixed things about it. But I did make a pretty nice setup here with my games. This is about half of my PS4 games. But I like having them together. Eventually I'll probably try to alphabetize them. And then we have cool Zelda stuff. And then we have the Vita stuff. Looking good there. And then my Zelda display, which I absolutely adore. I love all of these characters. Mipha, it's my all-time favorite. But yeah. And then we got my Switch stuff going here. But I definitely loved putting this corner together, and I'm glad I could share it with you guys. Well, I thank you for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed this collection video. We got plenty more to come. We got more lore videos coming. And as always, stay creepy.